Okay, here goes another story. We went from Afghanistan, where we're pulling out, and Afghanistan is making threats toward U.S., even though we're pulling out. From Afghanistan, we moved to Russia. We see Russia making threats as they are showing their nuclear capabilities and putting their new technology, their new subs into the waters and moving hundreds of thousands of troops around. Now we're going to go from Russia and we're going to move over to North Korea. Okay, and here goes an article that just came out a few days ago. It says Kim Jong-un reacts with fury to Joe Biden's big blunder after U.S. president called North Korea a security threat. A senior North Korean foreign ministry official said that the U.S. could find itself in a grave situation after Joe Biden called nuclear programs in North Korea and Iran a serious threat to America's security and world security in Congress last week. These two guys, man, they're gonna fuck around and kill us all. It says Biden promised to work to address the issues through diplomacy and stern deterrence, but the foreign ministry official Kwon Jong-gun was not convinced and said talk of diplomacy was being used to cover up U.S. hostile policy. In a statement reported to news agency KCNA, he said Mr. Biden's statement clearly reflects his intent to keep enforcing a hostile policy toward the DPRK as it had been done by the U.S. for over a half a century. The article goes on to say that it is a big blunder. It says Trump met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un a number of times during his presidency, each time claiming to have made major progress. But of course, Trump never came to a deal with them. They never reached a deal. So it says North Korea is reluctant to surrender nuclear weapons it sees as necessary for its own protection without some form of sanction relief. The U.S. had wanted steps toward denuclearization before committing to the easing of sanctions. Marcus Galuskas, a senior fellow with the Atlantic Council and former U.S. National Intelligence Officer for North Korea, said the differences between the Kim regime and the United States are much more fundamental. It says he added that Kim does not intend to give up nuclear weapons or reform North Korea's political system, but it is difficult to see how the U.S. could embrace a nuclear-armed North Korea that abuses human rights. It comes after a defector warned that Kim Jong-un is a modern-day Hitler who will never stop developing nukes as he thinks the U.S. is weak and he can bully them, a North Korean defector has warned. It says Yeonomi Park told The Sun Online that Kim doesn't see America as strong at all, and he will continue to do whatever he wants as long as China backs him. And she says the tyrant thinks he can continue to bully U.S. under President Biden, just as his family has done for decades. It says he knows he can bully America. He can bully anyone he wants because China is supporting him. It says North Korea is never going to stop building their weaponry. They know America will never do anything to stop them. They haven't the last 75 years, and they've let North Korea bully them. Now, here we go with more talks. They got somebody that's supposed to be a defector from the Kim Jong-un regime coming here. Looks like whoever this person is, male or female. In one instance, it called her a he, and the next it called her a she. He or she who is saying this looks like they're ready to pop off World War III, right? You say, oh, they think America's weak, you bullies, this and that. Listen, man, every test that I've seen Kim Jong-un try in the last, since I've been paying, maybe the last decade, let's say, has failed. There is a good reason to believe that they are nowhere close to nuclear capabilities, and they North Korea doesn't seem to be a real threat. If you ain't nuclear capable at this moment, then what are you talking about? How are they bullying America? We nuked up, we ready, right? I don't see how with North Korea, how with this person that seems to, that's why I say you got instigators, man. Where I'm from, we call them booster cables, right? She's trying to boost things up. He thinks you're a punk. He knows he could bully you. How the hell is North Korea bullying us when we got nuclear weapons ready to go at the drop of, just at the say of a word? And they're not even nuclear capable yet. So they ain't doing no damn bullying, so I'm not worried about that. But it just goes to show that China seems to be, that was news to me when she said, or he said, this person that is a defector, that China is backing North Korea. So if China and North Korea are allies, even though North Korea don't have nukes, China does, which brings us right into the Chinese story, right? Here goes another article. This is all tying into why I believe we are about to be ready for the Third World War. So I'm just building you up so you can get this clear picture that I got, right? This is just I'm just painting the canvas for you right now. Okay, and here goes the next article. Now we go from North Korea, who you just heard that I just read is supposed to be China is supposed to be back in North Korea. Now we're going to move from North Korea into China. It says high likelihood of war with China. Top Aussie official warned in leaked docs. It says a top Australian general warned that there is a high likelihood of war with China. A leaked briefing to troops has revealed. It says Major General Adam Finlay, who has since stepped down from his post but still advises the Australian Defence Force, reportedly gave a confidential briefing to Australia's Special Forces. It says General Finlay said China was already engaged in gray zone warfare. As Australia must prepare for a high likelihood it could spill over into actual conflict, he said. Who do you reckon the main regional threat is? General Finlay asked his troops. He says, okay, if China is a threat, how many special forces brigades are in China? You should know there are about 26,000 Chinese SOF Special Operation Forces personnel, he continued. The leak briefing came as Australia's former chief of operations in Iraq said the war with China was a genuine threat, writing that the Australian newspaper on Monday, Senator Jim Molan delivered a grim evaluation of Australia's preparedness for a war. He says it is very likely. Australia is not ready for what's coming, he warned. Meanwhile, China's Global Times newspaper issued fresh attacks on Australia with publications of propaganda poster taking aim at Australian troops. A poster published under the headline, "Troops are leaving, will justice arrive soon," was published in the newspaper, which widely seen as a mouthpiece for the Chinese Communist Party. It says the poster, which detailed alleged war crimes carried out in Afghanistan, comes as Australia prepares to pull out of the country with its allies, including the United States. This ties back into Afghanistan. Also, Australia was in one of our allies who were in Afghanistan with us, right? So now you got China blasting Australia and America for the war crimes that were committed over the 20-year stretch that we've been in Afghanistan. And this is just to maybe gain allies to paint us as the bad guys and to paint us as the monsters. So when the war kicks off, they can gain, I would propose this propaganda is not only the people in their country can be on board for attacking us or all of us going to damn war or us attacking them. I don't know how this shit is going to play out, but the propaganda is starting. So each nation can say and feel we're right. We should do this. We're the saviors, right? So they always start, everybody starting, including us, everybody's starting to pump out that propaganda. And you're going to have to be able to cut through it. You're going to have to be able to cut through what I would call the bullshit. It says also that the Brereton report alleges that Australian soldiers carried out 39 murders, including those involving civilians during the 7 years of conflict that in Afghanistan. Here goes some of the pictures of the Chinese warships. This is some of their navy, I would say. They're nuclear capable, which is It was also reported that in September, it said that China was going to be capable of doubling their nuclear warheads in a bid to become a top military power by 2049, right? It says the Pentagon said Beijing's nuclear stockpile is currently in the low 200s, although Federation of American Scientists estimate the figure to be as high as 320. That's enough to wipe out all of civilization. 320 nuclear warheads is enough. They don't even have any idea. It could be double, it could be triple, they could have thousands. Who knows how many China has? Everything China does is in secret, and there's really no way to know. This same way everything we do and everything Russia do and everything superpowers do are in secret. So these are just guesstimates. So this is, we went from Afghanistan, we went to Russia, we went to North Korea, we had China. These are some of the pictures here of, I guess, the Chinese military. So this is what some of their warships look like. They're just showing also the same thing that Russia's doing, flexing their muscle, the same thing that North Korea is doing. China's also now flexing their muscle, right? They're moving troops around. There's reports also that I read that they're practicing shooting off missiles and, basically puffing their chests out. There goes the military. It looks like that would be the Navy. So you got all these different things happening at the same damn time around the world. And this is, my senses again went up when I seen us leave out of Afghanistan. When I seen it's time to end the forever war. Really, Joe Biden never seen a war he didn't like. There's never a war that we've been in, and we've been in many of them. And Joe Biden's been in the Senate forever that he wasn't for. His whole career. He's never turned one down. So it was just very strange that, now let's bring the troops home. No, we're not bringing the troops home. We regrouping. This is what this is called, a regroup. Now let's go to the last and final story that put me in the mindset that we are going into World War III, which I have a strong belief that it can be a nuclear war, which is the end game. Now here we go with the last article that puts the nail in the coffin for me and tells me that my suspicions this whole time have been right, and that we are more likely than not about to head into a World War III with nuclear-powered nations. And after I finish reading this story, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down what all that can mean for you and me from my perspective.